Hello everyone, I am looking at Fallout 76. This is a completely impartial look, just facts and details on the game, having played the beta in the lead up to the release. Once you have designed your character and you have stepped out of the vault, the world is free for you to explore and you have a lot of area to do so. The map is drawn in a theme park style with notable points of interest drawn to tell you where things are. But everything drawn is physically something. For example, a house in the middle of a field may not seem like much, but when you actually go to check it out, it turns out to be a moonshine hut with mobs that will attack you, resources and collectibles, maybe even a workbench or two. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on your surroundings. With that in mind, to help in your exploration of West Virginia, there are specific buildings that will be guarded by different mobs and difficult to reach or climb. But once you reach the top, you will have the option to survey your surroundings. If you do choose to do this, then all of the points of interest that are within a certain radius of your position will be added to your map, making it easier to see what is around. Because everything that is physically drawn on the map is a place, but not every place is drawn on the map. So this is a good way to find a couple of the hidden locations that you may not be able to just see on a map. Now I am going to mention this because it is part of exploration, but it will also come up in the PvP section because it will also affect that quite a bit. While I was wandering around, a new mission appeared on my screen telling me to reach a supply drop. Now, just before I got the mission, I did spot and hear a helicopter flying overhead. I didn't first connect the two together, but that's obviously what happened. So if you can see a helicopter, check the map, because there will be a supply drop. I don't know how frequently these things are going to drop, but the items I got, as you can see on the screen, were definitely worth fighting over, especially if you've only just really started out. As an example, before I got that bat, I had a hatchet, which took 2 to 3 hits on most creatures that I was coming up against. That bat was killing them all in 1. So it makes a big difference. While you are exploring, there are a large selection of collectibles to keep an eye out for. This is what Fallout tends to be made up of. Now, for those that don't really play Fallout, collectibles are split into different sections. You have weapons and armor. You have aid, which is something you can either eat or drink, and will give you either buffs or it could give you food or water. And there is junk, which used to not really do anything other than fill up your inventory, but in this game it is very important when it comes to crafting, or you can sell the junk for caps. Now the caps themselves are relatively important, and each piece of junk will have how much they're worth in caps on the inventory. Speaking of caps, a large part of exploration will be fast travel. Now, I'm not a fan of fast travel, but there are definitely times that you might need to. And fast travel is actually locked behind caps. If you want to travel to somewhere that you have already been to, obviously you can't just travel to places you haven't been to, it will cost you a specific amount of caps in order to travel there. The only exception to this I found was when you want to fast travel to your built camp. Once you have placed down your camp and you've started to build it, I was able to fast travel to my camp for free. So that is very handy. Essentially, if you're starting to fight and you're having to run away and they are starting to chase you, you may be able to have a quick teleport and fast travel to your camp quickly, get out of the area, get to somewhere that's safe, where you've got items stored, and it doesn't cost you anything to do so. Now, the only problem I've noticed so far with caps is that it seems to reset every time I've played the beta. I don't know if this is something they're going to roll into the game itself when it starts, but I kind of hope not, because I kind of feel a little bit annoyed that I have to find caps in order to do things like fast travel, but I don't keep my caps if I turn the game off. That just doesn't feel right. It feels like they're just resetting it when it starts, but we'll see. We'll see what happens when the game kicks in a week. And then there are much rarer items, which are items that can either start missions. There are computer tapes for games or messages within PC systems. There are items like magazines and bobbleheads that will give you bonus buffs and increases for either limited or permanent amount of times. And there are schematics which will unlock new crafting items, whether they be new food and drink, new weapons, or new parts for your camp. All looting in the game is personal. So whether you are looting the body of something that you have just killed or have just broken into a safe, you don't have to split up what you have found and share it with your team members or worry about what they might have instead of you. Everybody will get something. The loot will be there for everyone. Now, I don't know, and I doubt that will include the supply drops. I'm pretty sure once someone has emptied it, it's gone. But again, I don't know this. So it's something we just need to keep an eye out. Another thing that I'm not too sure of is how long things take to spawn. Once you clear a building of items, will they respawn the next day? Will it take a week? It's very difficult to know when the beta only runs every other day. There's a chance they just reset all the loot when it restarts. So it's difficult to tell at the moment. So it's something to keep an eye out, especially how much the crafting relies on the components that you can loot. If they don't respawn very quickly, then that will make crafting very difficult. So that will then also affect whether you have to go out and start having to maybe kill some people to collect it. It's a very different scale of the game. So it'll be interesting to see once the game is up and running. Okay, so thank you for watching. That is everything with regards to exploration that you really need to know. If you want to know more about Fallout 76, please look at my playlist. I have got videos looking at most of the main elements within the game itself. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.